Well, this is our back entrance. We've got the opening for the closet. This is going to be our work closet where we're going to store our coats and stuff when you come in the back, and we'll maybe put some of our brooms and mops and stuff in there. This is the bathroom area. We got the new floor in the back wall, and we got the sheeting in for the air vents for the ceiling, so we can vent the outside with the faucets. Windows and insulation are in the back walls, and it's ready for the plumbing. So when the plumber can get here, we'll get the toilet and sinks in. Toilet's going to be on this side over here. Sink is going to be here, and then same thing back to back on the other side. So we've got a little bit of work done in here, but we still have to build the front wall and the door. Then when you come in the back room here, this is going to be our office. It's an 8x8 office. It's all ready to go for, all the wiring is in. He's got to set his plugs in and run his wiring to the box. We got the ceiling in. We got the light for the ceiling ready to be put up. And the windows are in here. This is the door that's going to go on the office. This came out of the old Lakeland High School. This was the teacher's door, so that's going to go in here. We'll have the door for the teachers in here. Then we come over to this side here. This is going to be our kitchen over here. This is the back wall for the kitchen. We're going to show movies on here and mount blackboards up here so we can write notes. And that'll be done back in the back here. We'll put 2 big blackboards from the old school. They came from the old Jermyn grade school. And then you come in here. This is going to be our kitchenette. And we'll have cabinets going across this back wall on the bottom and the top and the corner and around that side over there. The sink will be sitting right here. So we'll have a kitchen sink. This is our sink right here, if you can see it. It's a Kohler. It's a Kohler sink with the high knob on it. Going to be a return wall right here, because now the members said they wanted to put a regular refrigerator in instead of just a small one. So we're going to put a refrigerator in here with a wall, so there'll be another wall here blocking it. So this will be your entrance to the kitchen right here. Cabinets on the left and in front of you, cabinets on there, and shelf space on the back side. We have a rolling cart that'll go in here. The other side is our other entrance over there, and that's our other bathroom on that side over there. So this is just going to be an open space here. 2 sets of stairs going down into our basement, 1 for each side of the apartments that were in here originally. So the steps on the left are now taken out, and the floor is replaced on the bottom. So that's all ready to go. We're going to put a door here that you lift up, and it's going to be a fold down door. We'll put a handle on it so we can lift it up and walk down into the basement when needed, but we can walk on it and use it as a regular floor when not needed. This planking that you see here is all the planking that came off this wall here, and that's the planking that's going to go on our side walls. We took the set of steps down going to the upstairs as well. So the upstairs is down. You can see the ceiling up there. We've got 3 full lengths of paneling in already, and we're almost ready to put the last section in on that side. And then on this side here, we have the wallboard all in, and the insulation is all in. We have to wait for the inspections on the ceiling. That is hopefully going to be done as soon as our electric is finished. We have the permits to do it now, so that we can get the inspections done as soon as they can come in. Now we're going to go into starting. We took out this arch. This was a big arch here, just like you see that one there. We took this arch out here because it wasn't doing any supporting. Took this arch and we moved it into the front room, and we put it in the front room. This arch that you see here is coming out next. That'll come out on Monday, and we'll take that, and that's going to go in the other side in the front room, going into the Mark Coons room. So we have the arch into the Walter Avery room already. This is going to be the great room. You're going to be in the great room here. This set of stairs is coming out. As soon as we're done with everything upstairs, this will come out. We're going to try to save it if we can, and we can use it for whatever you want to use it for. Do you want to go upstairs too? Okay, now we're in the upstairs of the room, which is going to no longer be here. We're standing on the spot above the kitchen and the office, and this is going to be still used for storage. So we're going to cut out the flooring from this point to the front, and we'll have either a set of stairs up to here or just use a ladder to bring material up here. We're going to store things up in here. And then you see on the other side, you'll see the ledge where we assume was the old choir loft, and you'll see the two new windows in there. You'll also see the arch window in the corner over there on the right. That's going to go up in the center above this ceiling, and that'll be our light coming down because the center section is coming out. That floor is going to come out as soon as that window is installed, and then you'll have light coming right down into your entranceway. And you see here above you, you see the lights. You're going to have a light, then a fan, and then a light, and then a fan, and then a light. They'll be hanging down from the ceiling. So you'll have plenty of light in the great room. You'll see the paneling that's laying down there. There's enough paneling to do the right-hand side down as far as the left is done, and there's enough small panels to do the last row down. We have to come up with a solution for this next section up here, and we have to do the peak above the choir loft over that side. We're going to put some different kind of material there. These were found in the building, these panels. They were all sanded, ground down with a wire brush, rubbed down, cleaned, painted. Some of them were primered and painted and put back up. A lot of them were rusted. Some of them have some holes in them, but you'll never know the difference when they're done. We're going to put caulking and sheeting in there that'll allow us to see nothing but white. So these will be beautiful when they're done. We didn't want to throw them away because they're original from 1884. So this is the original ceiling that was in this church when it was a Welsh church. So you see the rest of the insulation there. That's going to fill in the gap here. This ceiling will be fully insulated. We're going to put roof vents on the ridge of the roof, and that's going to be done hopefully next week before our helper goes back to work. So we'll have the air vents in here, so everything is vented through the soffits on the side and up through the roof. So that's all done and ready to complete. You see our cable on the floor here. We're going to put two cables in here. One is going to go directly right here on this beam, and one is going to go up at the very front. We're going to turnbuckle those and cable them to keep the walls from spreading when we take the floor down. It's going to be back to the way it looked when it was an original church. So we want to make sure that there's no give on the walls after we take these old flooring down. This was the second floor. You could never put a second floor like this in because it was never done right. But it's this floor that you see is 1 inch thick flooring. This is the chandelier that's going to hang from the entranceway. This was the chandelier that was in the Avery flower shop. It's part of Walter Avery's, I guess, gift to the Historical Society after he was gone. So that'll go in hanging from the center as you walk in the front door. Now we're going to walk into the Mark Coon's room. And you'll see the beautiful stained glass window that we installed. This came as a donation from James May, from the Roland May family. These came from an 1860s church down in the Lancaster area. So they're, almost 200 years old. Oh, wow. So you can see the cutouts where the old church windows were, and that's what we did here. This is where one of the original church windows was. This is going to be the Mark Coon's room. This will be dedicated to the firemen, fire companies, Mark Coon's and the Coon's family legacy. So this is the Mark Coon's room. Now this is our entranceway. This is where you come in the front door, where the ceiling is going to be taken out above us. This is going to be all opened up so you can walk in and see the beautiful ceiling that's in there as you walk in the door. I'm going to turn on the lights for you so you can see the ceiling a little bit better. This back wall here is going to be dedicated to the large donors that have donated to our building, to the families of Tom Zenti and Brian Mullally. They're gave us a sizable donation towards the building, and we're going to dedicate this section to the larger donors for our building, which helped us. We could not have done it without them. And also we'll put our 4 Mile Point plaque in here, which Walter Avery started to honor citizens of Jermyn, since the name of the town, the first name was 4 Mile Point. Well, a glass case will be set here with a couple of outlets, and we'll have some memorabilia in this front room. We'll have some pictures and paintings on the wall. Here you see the arch that we moved from the back over to here to the entrance to the Walter Avery room. So this will be fixed up, dressed up nice, and we'll have our sheeting on it, our drywall. And now we're entering the Walter Avery room. Same thing here. You'll see the beautiful church stained glass window. The classical glass. Ron Cordish is going to come up and repair this. He's going to repair. There's a couple spots that were damaged when we got the windows. So we're going to have to take one section of this window out, take it down to his shop when it gets warmer, and he's going to repair the bottom part of it where you see there's some glass missing in the corner that was broken. So we're going to get this repaired and back into the building, and then put the trim and everything around it. You see the ceiling is in already for the Avery room. Light's going to hang in the ceiling here, and you can see the cutout for the old window that was here. We're going to re-insulate this with the proper insulation. This is just temporary insulation just to keep it a little bit warm in here while we were working. And you'll see this is going to be a little sitting room. We're going to have chairs in the corners. You'll see one of the lights here that we're going to have in the corner, so you could sit here and read. There'll be a little desk in this section. And on the same thing on the other side, we might even put a fireplace in there. We have a donated gas fireplace that's brand new. So we might put that over on that side and have a little bit of a little ambiance over in the Mark Kroon's room. Up here on this wall will be the mini split heater air conditioning combination unit that will heat the entranceway and these two rooms here. Now you're going back into the junk room, which is where everything is stored that's going to either get mounted on the walls, get used in the building, or get sold. This is all stuff that we have to sell, mount, fix, or get rid of. This is the major project because we can't redo all the wiring and the plumbing and stuff in here until all this stuff is moved. So this is a major issue we have to deal with. We need all the help we can get in sorting this stuff and selling it. And if we don't sell it, a lot of it's going to end up getting given to the Salvation Army because we just don't have room for it. And now I think we'll go outside and take a little tour of the outside, and you'll see our beautiful front door, and we'll go out the front way here. Sure. All right, there you see our beautiful front doors and lights that are there. You can see the stained glass windows. They will be painted and refurbished and cleaned up so they look a lot nicer from the outside. Our two new windows on top. You can see the emergency lighting box that's up there, and we're going to have an outlet put in the outside so we can plug in outside for utilities for our lawn equipment and maintenance. I'm standing in what's going to be a brick walkway. This will be a memorial brick walkway from the sidewalk up to the front steps. $50 a brick. Memorialize any of your relatives or honor anybody that's living, whatever way you want. That campaign is going to start shortly, so if you're inclined to do so, we could use all the donations we can get. You see the paper siding on there, the sheeting that's there to protect the wood underneath until we do get the siding on. And the peak up the top you'll see was where that pointed window is going to go. And we'll have cedar shake imitation siding coming down there. It's going to be gray like the back. That'll come down in that top peak, and then the rest will get siding or stone, cultured stone, depending on how much money's left, if any, to do that. We'll go around the back and we'll look at the back and show you our siding that we put on and the fence that we built. And then that's pretty much the tour of the building. We're going to replace the sidewalk, and we have to put a handicap sidewalk along the left-hand side of the building. Here we are in the back. You'll see that we've got the sheeting on the side of the building. We've got the 2 new windows in the back, and we've got the J-channel around the windows and around the doors. We got the soffit and the fascia on the back. We have to clean up the drip edge. You got the 2 new doors in the back. We got the one with the mail slot in it and the one with the ghost on the back. That's our handicap door there. You can see it's handicap accessible from the back here. We put 40-ton of modified in the back here in the parking area. We took down the old fence across the back, and we put a brand new fence over on this side. This is so that when we come in and park, we don't shine the lights in the windows of the neighbor's house next to us. We have a little piece of that fence to finish going down that side because we have to drop it down and put a handrail on it for handicap accessibility. Then over on this side over here, you'll see this is where our handicap sidewalk is going to go. We're going to put another pad off of the side of the edge of this pad here, and then we have to put a small ramp going down and then a sidewalk out to the front. This will be our handicap walkway. You see, notice how the fence is pitched down. It's going to pitch down a little bit, and we'll put a handrail on it because we have to have a handrail on a handicap ramp. So you'll see the outlet boxes. The 2 outlet boxes next to the door are for our outside lights, which are going to be exactly the same as our front outside lights. Then you see our emergency lights up the top and a back outlet on that side over there for plugs. You'll see 2, one on the bottom and one on the top down here. These are for if we're working out here and we need power on the outside of the building, we'll have it on the outside. You can see we poured the pad for the handicap ramp, and we put our 2-step set of steps in the back so it's easy access for us. So we're pretty much going to be ready to go. You'll see the new soffit all the way up in the top. Fascia and soffit put in up there. We took the old chimney down. That chimney's completely gone. That was the old chimney from the furnace down in the basement, and now you can see the vertical siding that we're putting on. It's smoke gray siding. That will go across the whole back, sides, and the front, unless we put the cultured stone in the front, depending on if any money's left over. So that's pretty much the tour of the building. We got to put fascia on the side. We got to put rain gutters on. And we've got to do the new flooring on the inside, which we have already purchased the flooring. It's all ready to go. So we have to level the floors, put the flooring in, and finish the insulation, and then do all our trim around the windows and everything. And then we're pretty much ready to open. Our my expected open date was going to be in the fall of this year, I hope. So we're hoping to have this open by the fall.
Oh, wow.
Okay, here you see the lights that are going to hang from the ceiling. You see there'll be like a chandelier light, and then down here you'll see the ceiling fan. That we're going to have 2 fans and 3 lights hanging from the ceiling. There's our small refrigerator that we're going to go in our kitchenette. And these walls are all going to be gone here. There's our gas fireplace furnace that's going to go in the Mark Coon's room. And you'll see the rest of the stuff that we still have to either mount, find a home for, and then we still have to take down these walls and those walls there. And this is all the sheeting that's going to go up on our side walls. This will be mounted, and you'll see the 2-man saws and crosscut saws over in the corner. Those are going to get hung up on the walls, along with old sleds and anything old, any old tools that we have, things that antique that were around in town. Yeah. Anything we can find that people want to donate. Here you see the lights. These are the lights that are going to go on the ceiling. They'll be in the Mark Coon's room and the Walter Avey room. They'll be in our office and in our kitchen. So we have the lights for that. So we pretty much have everything we got ready to go. All the flooring is purchased, like I said, and it's ready to be put in as soon as we get everything cleaned out, and we'll get all this stuff moved upstairs. The ceiling that's above us, we're going to cut out, and that's going to be the floor for the upstairs. That is 1-inch thick, tongue and grooved oak wood.
Oh, wow.
So that's all going to get reused as our flooring for the upstairs storage area, and save us some money on purchasing sheets of plywood that are now $50 a sheet.
Ooh.
So all this lumber that you see in these walls, the 2x4s, we're going to use them in building the other walls for the kitchen and for our bathroom walls. So we're going to try to use everything that's here before we purchase anything more. What we had to purchase we've already done. So pretty much now we're working with everything that we have here, and we're going to save all the molding that we have and all the trim that we took down. We're going to try to repaint it, restain it, revarnish it, and put it back up. So not a lot of cost left in what we have to do. There's just a lot of time. Okay, we're in the basement of the building now. This basement was a lot shallower back in the day. You can see we mounted a couple of cabinets here where we could store some of our nails and screws and tools and stuff. You see some of the old beams that were in here supporting the main beam in the building. This building was jacked up 2 feet after it was closed down as a church and turned into a house and apartments. The original stone foundation you'll see over on the other side over there. You'll see the stone foundation and how it was raised up to support the new church. So you'll see support beams here and there because they had to re-level this whole building after they jacked it up. So you can imagine in the early 1900s what they had to do to raise this building up in the air. You see in the back, that's one of the original entrances to the cellar from the outside. That's right where our new bathrooms are going to be. That's where the old bathrooms were from when this was made an apartment. But back when it was a church, that was your entranceways into the basement of this building. There was 2 of them, 1 on each side. You'll see the coal bins on this side, and you'll see that there was another coal bin on that side. All this wood is wood that's been taken out of this building for different places. A lot of it's good molding and stuff. It just needs to be cleaned up, sanded, and primered or painted. All of this that's usable is going to be used, and we've been giving away whatever's not to people who needed firewood. All the coal was taken by some people that needed coal, that were members of the society or helped us work on the building. So we got all the coal gone out of the coal bins. You see where some of the walls were redone prior to us coming in here, and they've been put up with cinder blocks and a lot more stable and secure than it was back in the 1800s. We put in a new entrance in the front. The entrance was there. We just put a Bilko door in there and a new set of steps to come in. We kept the old door that was here because it was one of the doors from the grade school. You'll see the number 4 on it, so it was from the 4th grade room of the old Jermyn grade school. This is the door we're talking about here. This was the door from the 4th grade of the old Jermyn grade school that was long gone and torn down. It's where I went to school, but it's now in where the Crystal Fire Company was. So you can see we got our outlets in here. Our wiring is all in the basement. We have our light switch here for our lights in the basement. Our panel box is in. The electrician is continuing to put wiring in, so you can see that's a work in progress. On your left, you'll see the water line that came into the building. We have it heat taped and wrapped for the winter time until the rest of the plumbing gets in. We're hoping the plumbing contractor comes in the next few weeks and continues to put the plumbing in so we can get it all the way to the back to the bathrooms. You see the old stone wall that was here. That'll get parged back up and cleaned up. I'll re-cement some of the stones and place them back in the way they were, and we'll get that done. This was the old foundation. We found some old bullets in here that were left in the basement. These were from the previous owners that were here. They had a cotton candy and popcorn business and a truck, so these were their scoopers that they used. And there was a few other things in here, like a doll carriage and an old fire truck and some stuff. There's an old cabinet here that these things are pretty valuable, but it needs to be refurbished. We haven't decided if we're going to try to refurbish it or sell it. But this is the old cabinets that had the old flour sifter and the set up on the inside of it. So we might refurbish this, we might sell it. And you see we took down the one set of stairs that were here, we have the other set left here. And we re-jacked the floor because where that cellar steps were, there were no beams going across to the main beam. So the floor had sagged when they put these steps in back in the 1800s or 1900s when they redid this floor. So when we took this floor out, we re-jacked and re-beamed all of this here. We glued these together to the existing beams and screwed them in so that they're supporting the floor. We're going to take these supports out, and hopefully everything is going to be back to level across the top, because we raised this probably about 2 inches right here where this section was, where it sagged. So now it's back to where it originally was before they put these sets of steps in. So hopefully all our work down here is done except cleanup. And you'll see there's a dresser here. There's a lot of that's a hutch with drawers in it. That's going to go upstairs someplace. There's another dresser over on the other side that is going to get mounted. And we're not going to try to store anything down here because of the dampness of this section, because wood warps when it's damp. So we're going to try to store everything we can upstairs in that loft. And that's your tour of the new Jermyn Historical Society meeting room, research center, library. Hopefully the senior citizens can come over here and sit and have coffee and reminisce about the history of Jermyn, and maybe some of the youth can come over and learn a little bit about history, because they sure don't learn it in high school. They don't teach local history, they teach national history. So this is a good place for kids to come and learn, and they can come here after school and learn a little bit about history. The programs that we put on will be put on in here. We're doing one the next month on the Revolutionary War, the following month on the Civil War. So every month we'll have our normal programs that we do at the Methodist Church basement until we get this building open.
When are your meetings and what time are they?
Our meetings are every Sunday, every first Sunday of the month at 6:30 at the United Methodist Church basement. Everyone is welcome. You don't have to be a member to come here. You can just come and listen, and you can come and participate. If you want to become a member, it's only $15 to be a member a year. And we welcome everybody. You don't have to be a long-time resident of Jermyn. You could have just moved here but want to know the history of it and learn a little bit more and preserve the history that was here. If your family's been here forever, you should be a member of Lackawanna Historical Society and the Jermyn Historical Society, because we're in partners with Lackawanna Historical Society in the fact that we get research from them and we find things and we give them to them. So, in conjunction, we're back and forth between our society and theirs, and we invite people from Mayfield to come as well, because Mayfield doesn't have a building. We do. We research that. We have a lot of the Mayfield news. We have a lot of history. We have a lot of people who lived in both Jermyn and Mayfield. So we invite residents from Mayfield to come and get involved as well. And maybe we can start a Mayfield section of this building where we can put some more memorabilia from Archibald and Mayfield in here. Archibald has their own society, but they don't have a building either. So, there's some good things in here that we do have. We have books on the pothole. We have things from Archibald that are here. So the local residents in the whole area can come here. We have stuff from Scott Township. We have stuff from Greenfield. Everybody's welcome. You don't have to live in Jermyn to be a member or enjoy what we're putting together.